Hello friends, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss positive displacement air compressors. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss the basic construction of a reciprocating air compressor and the PV diagrams for a single stage and a multi-stage compressor. So let us go through the contents. In the contents, first we are going to go through the construction of a positive displacement air compressor. Positive displacement air compressor. Here we are going to discuss that first. Next is the PV diagram of the air compressor, and next is the working of the air compressor. Moving ahead, now you can clearly see in the diagram, it shows you the PV diagram of a reciprocating air compressor. Here you can see this is the suction line, delivery line. Okay, air is taken in and it is delivered out. This is the piston connecting rod. Okay, the valves are spring loaded valves. Now if you carefully see the PV diagram, on the y axis the pressure is there, on the x axis you have the volume. So this Vs is the swept volume and this Vc is the clearance volume. Again C to D is the compression. Okay, D to A, delivery of air, discharge valve opens at D. So here discharge valve opens and discharge valve closes here. See here. Now after compression, the delivery valve opens here and the delivery valve closes here. Again A to B is the expansion of the clearance air. Expansion of the clearance air. Now at point B, what happens? The inlet valve again opens. Okay. And B to C is the suction part. Okay, suction. And you can clearly see this pressure PA. PA is the atmospheric pressure as mentioned here. And again at point C, the inlet valve closes when the cylinder pressure reaches the atmospheric pressure. So this gives you the PV diagram in which it shows the compression, delivery of air, that is pressurized air. Again A to B is the expansion of clearance air. Again B to C is the suction, and again the cycle continues. So here you can clearly see the block diagram of the air compressor. So this is the prime mover, that is the motor. This is the actual air compressor which is connected with this actual air compressor connected with the belt. This is the air compressor, this is the storage tank, and this is the discharge valve. Okay. Now let us go through the construction of the compressor. Now in the compressor you can clearly see air is going output, air is going as input here. Input air, output air. Now output air is the compressed air. You can see inlet valve and delivery valve. These are the spring loaded valves. So inlet valve, what happens? When this valve opens, the air goes in. When the piston is moves from the top dead center to bottom dead center. Again when the piston moves from the bottom dead center to top dead center, the air is compressed and the delivery valve opens. When the delivery valve opens, the air comes out from here, the pressurized air. So what are the components? The components are inlet valve, piston, cylinder, connecting rod, crank, and the frame. Okay. Now suction and delivery stroke. Now what actually happens in the suction stroke? Now in the suction stroke, the inlet valve is open. So air is going as inlet. So air is going in, inlet valve is open. Piston moves from top dead center to bottom dead center. Now when the piston again starts moving from the bottom dead center to the top dead center, the inlet valve closes and when the piston reaches the top dead center, the delivery valve opens. So you can see clearly here, inlet valve is closed when the piston is moving in the which direction? In the upward direction. Here the piston is moving in the downward direction. Okay. Upward direction means bottom dead center to the top dead center. And finally, the compressed high pressure air is delivered and it goes to the storage tank. So this was the working principle of a reciprocating air compressor. So this strokes: suction, compression, delivery, clearance expansion or clearance air expansion, and again suction stroke, you have already seen in the PV diagram. Moving ahead, let us go through the PV diagram without the clearance volume. Now in this diagram you have the PV diagram and the TS diagram. Now in the PV diagram you can clearly see the PV diagram is without the clearance volume. Now there are three processes basically. 1 to 2 dash is the reversible adiabatic process having PV raised to gamma is equal to constant. You can see this line. Okay. The next one is the polytropic process, PV raised to n. That is the polytropic index. So 1 to 2 is the polytropic compression. Now what is the value of n? Value of n varies from 1 to again 1.35 in that range, but basically it is 1.15 to 1.30 in that range. The next process is the isothermal process. Now which is that process? 1 to 2 dash. This process is the isothermal process, which is given by PV raised to 1 is equal to constant. PV raised to 1 is equal to constant means the temperature remains constant, and this process is the ideal process. So here PV raised to gamma is equal to constant means gamma value is 1.4, and here polytropic index, that is in polytropic process, the value in the polytropic process, the value of n is, I told you the range is 1.20 to 1.35 in that range. Adiabatic process, gamma value is 1.4 and PV raised to 1 means this is the isothermal process. And again it goes from 2 to 3, or again 2 dash to 3, 2 to 3, or 2 double dash to 3, 2 to 3, or 2 dash to 3. This is the delivery part, and again it goes to the point P2 to P1. Now this is again what? Again we can say it is a expansion process. Now clearly on the TS diagram you can see there are two pressure lines. T is on the y-axis temperature, S that is the entropy on the x-axis. Two pressure lines are going, and the processes adiabatic, polytropic and isothermal are represented accordingly. So 1 to 2 dash is the adiabatic process, 1 to 2 is the polytropic process, and 1 to 2 dash is the isothermal process. Now here you can clearly see in isothermal process 1 to 2 dash the temperature almost remains constant, and that is the reason why it is called as the isothermal process, and that is the preferred process. Preferred process means what? There is no heat loss actually, there is no temperature difference. But here in case of 1 2 double dash, this is highly inefficient because there is a considerable rise in the temperature, and that will literally will reduce the isothermal efficiency, and in turn it will impact the volumetric efficiency of the compressor. Moving ahead, now multi-staging of compressors. Now in multi-staging of compressors, as the heading tells, or as it is mentioned here, we can clearly see the PV diagram is shown here. So 1 to 5, 6. Now here pressure 1 to 5 is not achieved in a single stage, but achieved in two stages, that is the LP cylinder and the HP cylinder. Now you can clearly see here, this is the low pressure cylinder and this is the high pressure cylinder. Two stages, and that is the reason why it is called as multi-stage. Multi-stage means more than one stage. So here what happens, first the inlet pressure at point 1, it goes from 1 to 4, again 4 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 6 here in this case. Now here in this case you can clearly see this shaded part is the saving of work. So saving of work means what? If you don't intercool, you are losing the work. You will be losing the volumetric efficiency. But the process is what? Polytropic process. Please remember this thing. Here the process is PV raised to constant. That is 1. That is the ideal process. So this dotted process should be the ideal process. 1 to 9. Our aim is to achieve 1 to 9. I told you PV raised to 1 is equal to constant, means isothermal process, the best process. Now here what we are doing, instead of compressing from 1 to 5 directly, that is without intercooling, that is that process is consuming more amount of work done. And which is that process? That is the adiabatic process. But here what we do, we go in two stages. So 1 to 4, again 4 to 2, we are cooling here and again we are compressing. So 2 to 3, instead of going from 4 to 5. So what we have done, this shaded area, this much amount of work is being saved. Okay, and again from 2 to 3 we are compressing. So the second stage is where 2 to 3, that is the HP cylinder. LP cylinder you are compressing from 1 to 4. 1 to 4 compression, again 4 to 2 is the intermediate pressure, or this is called as the constant pressure heat rejection. And again from 2 the air is given as an inlet from low pressure cylinder to the high pressure cylinder. Okay, here, and it is compressed from 2 to 3, and from 3 to 6 it is the delivery pressure. So we are achieving this in two stages. So what is the advantage? We are saving a considerable amount of work input. Otherwise we would have wasted that much amount of work. Very important point, students. So let us see the PV diagram of a multi-stage compressor. Now here in the previous diagram only we have seen, but here it is with a clearance volume. Now in this diagram you can clearly see LP cylinder, the diagram, and this is the wavy lines at below the atmospheric pressure. So that is what called as the, this is the suction part, this is the delivery part, this is the intermediate part from LP cylinder and HP cylinder, and this is the delivery pressure PD. This is the atmospheric pressure at the inlet of the LP cylinder. So this part, this is a waste actually, but still from this point to this point, this point to this point, and again from this point to this point, we are going for the compression part in two stages, and here we are saving a considerable amount of work done here, this much part almost. Okay, and that is the reason why we are going for multi-staging. Now I hope you understood why we are going for multi-staging, because higher pressure ratios in a single stage will lead to loss of work, and this will hamper the volumetric efficiency of the compressor. Thank you, students. Thank you very much.